Say, did you hear the one about a Caucasian comedian who was actually banned from performing at a Montreal campus comedy club? No punchline here, folks, just more nauseating cultural appropriation madness. Meet Zach Poitras. He's a comedian now making headlines around the world, not because of his act, but because of his hairstyle. You see, his dreadlocks actually got him banned from a Université du Quebec comedy club, which, alas and alack, seems to be run by a squadron of SJW losers who have zero appreciation for comedy. Indeed, get this, the name of the venue is the Snowflake Comedy Club. Now, that's actually a great name if it was meant to mock political correctness. It would also be a great name if they were booking the likes of Andrew Dice Clay to perform. But here's something really unintentionally funny. The Snowflake Comedy Club actually makes for truth in advertising. This club apparently requires its comedy and its comedians to be 100% offense free, both in content and apparently in hairstyles. Yet, is a sanitize for your protection mindset even possible in the realm of comedy, a genre in which the line separating comedy from tragedy is but razor thin? Speaking of tragedy, in an online post, here's what the politically correct collective running the Snowflake Comedy Club had to say in regard to Zach's hairstyle. The mission of this club is to be a, quote, safe space free from any link to oppression, end quote. And the collective described cultural appropriation as a form of violence. No, seriously, folks, don't mean to go off on a tangerine here, but when did the definitions of safety and violence so radically change? I used to think an unsafe space would be, say, a bathtub with a plugged in electrical device nearby. I used to think violence was receiving a knuckle sandwich. Now, apparently, something that is unsafe and violent is an idea or even a haircut if the person sporting that haircut has the wrong skin pigmentation. And tell me, where is the line between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation? Since the dawn of people kind, cultures have borrowed bits and pieces of other cultures. Much of Roman mythology, for example, is outright plagiarism of Greek mythology. And furthermore, why is it that the same types of progressives who fret over cultural appropriation seem to believe that the rules don't apply to them? I mean, the uber progressive in Canada is the man child running the nation right now, Justin Trudeau. But look at what the Trudeau clan chose to wear during that disastrous trip to India last year. How did the lily white Trudeaus believe they were exempt from this whole cultural appropriation racket? And now it's not just clothes or jewelry that are examples of cultural appropriation, but dreadlocks too? Say, does that mean this film is now banned at the Université de Quebec? Wow, look at those space aliens. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean space irregulars ripping off black culture. Yes, they're horrific homicidal hunters to be sure, but damn it, those predators really cross the line with those haircuts, eh? In the final analysis, this cultural appropriation nonsense really boils down to sheer entitlement, not by those borrowing from other cultures, but by those who feel entitled enough to tell other people what they can and cannot borrow from other cultures. I mean, really, who has the sheer audacity to take on the mantle of a cultural appropriation police officer, someone who endeavors to enforce the so called cultural appropriation rules? And speaking of appropriation, who exactly invented comedy clubs? The ancient Aztecs? Maybe Australian Aboriginals? Let me look that one up on Google using my smartphone. I'll get back to you. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.